Hi Charlie, so what brings you in today?
Well, Erin, I just wanted to talk about my Thanksgiving break a little bit.
Yeah.
My mom had surgery on her feet.
Okay.
She has really bad bunions, which is kind of funny. I think it's funny. But now that I'm getting it, it's not. But she had the surgery on her right foot so she could kind of be mobile around the house and whatnot. So now she's in a cast for 5 weeks. So obviously I had to do everything over break, which I was fully anticipating, but it got a little overwhelming, you know? I went home and she wasn't there, so I kind of got nervous, and my dad said she was in the hospital. So she's a small woman. She is like 90 pounds. She doesn't eat. It's a situation. But she's been trying to, build up and work out and eat properly. But the day before her surgery, she was really nervous about me coming home and having to make Thanksgiving dinner all by myself. So she wrote out a lot of lists, and she just didn't really eat a lot that day, So she passed out right after her surgery. So that was kind of scary when I got home and she was in the hospital. But she did better over break. But like I said before, it was just really overwhelming because I had to help her get dressed, wash her hair in the sink, just getting around. She has a walker and she has a wheelchair, which is actually pretty fun. She let me go in it. So that was my first time in a wheelchair, which was fun. But I guess kind of sad if you really had to be in it all the time. So we have that, and it's just, it was a lot to do. I cooked the whole dinner. My brother kind of helped, but not really, because he's not really involved in the kitchen. But it was still really fun, and, but overwhelming.
Right.
Okay, and story is over. Erin, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you a few questions to test your active listening skills here. Did you notice any shifts in the conversation while Charlie was?
Charlie at first seemed really relaxed to kind of tell me the story. She was kind of laughing a little bit about the whole bunion thing, but then you could tell that it did shift when she started talking more about getting home and her mom not being there and being concerned. And kind of the severity of that concern and her actually being hospitalized. That's when it kind of shifted to being a little bit more, the conversation got a little bit more serious. But then I think it also shifted again when she's talking about being in her mom's wheelchair and having her brother sort of help out with Thanksgiving dinner. That was another shift where she kind of, her mom's okay, it all turned out fine.
Okay.
In the end, kind of.
Now, be honest. Did you forget to listen at any time? And if so, tell me when.
Okay, I didn't zone out or anything because I've never heard this story. So it was something that was really interesting to me, and I really wanted to know what had happened and what all was going on with Charlie's life.
Okay. Did you hear any changes in the volume and speed of the client's speech?
Definitely, I think, and those followed very similarly to the shifts in the conversation, when it was kind of, Thanksgiving break, my mom has bunions, it was kind of easy, a little bit, I guess, more slow, relaxed, but then when her concern kind of came out, she started talking a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, trying to get through it. And talking about some of those difficult, not so fun things. But then her speech slowed down at the end, talking about her brother and playing in the wheelchair and things like that.
Okay. The rest of the questions are basically the same. How would you describe the speaking style? Was it loud? So I think we're done here. I think we're good.
Yeah, I would say
kind of touched on that.
Her voice was really pretty even keel. There was no times when she got really high pitched or really low. It was mostly the tone of her voice changed.
Okay. Great. Good.
Decimals.
Good job.
Thanks, Amy.